start, I do want to just congratulate Brandon Flowers on a fantastic career. He was a great player here, certainly a great player in the NFL. I don't know him real well, but I know Bud and Charlie pretty well, and they think the world of him. So, everybody here at Virginia Tech, just want to say congratulations to Brandon on a great career. 25 days away from West Virginia. We have plenty of work to do. We've got practice 8 today. We start getting into more situational work in terms of end-of-game scenarios, field position work, those sorts of things. We did a little bit of it yesterday. Got some young guys that are competing hard, like probably everybody is after what was 6 straight days. Just we got to push through here. It's important that we understand the urgency of what's in front of us and what we got to get accomplished in the very near future. So, questions?
What have you seen from Traylon Hill coming back, and how good does he look, and then what kind of impact could he have for you?
Well, he's going against a pretty good guy, first thing I would say, in Nigel. But he's done well. He's continued to be out there every day and be consistent, which has kind of been, I think, the thing we've been looking for is continued consistency from him. And he's started to bring that, which is obviously a good thing.
And on the other side with Mihota, he was a guy we kind of got to know as an inside guy, bigger. How has he developed in terms of playing in space and things like that?
Well, he's just a pretty savvy guy. What he may lack in open area movement, he makes up in kind of old dog savvy, and very, very knowledgeable player, highly intelligent guy that awfully steady.
Is he? Obviously, I know he's one of your starting ends, but is he fit enough to also help you as a backup tackle potentially, or is that?
Well, I think that's something that he could do. Something we've certainly talked about. I think he probably has less control over that. It's more about how we feel about the other ends. If those guys really came on and we really felt good about them. Not to say that if he doesn't move in, we don't feel good about those guys, but their development, I think, would be key to continue that conversation.
How much has some of the youth at key positions on offense kind of inspired and maybe amped up the competition?
Well, I think you look at some of those young receivers. I mean, we're out there the other day, and we've got in one given play, we have a redshirt freshman quarterback, a true freshman tailback, a true freshman tight end, a true freshman slot, another true freshman receiver, and a redshirt freshman receiver. Those are our skill guys. So they are competitive in the fact that they're out there going against some grown men, and that's certainly a good thing. But we're still trying to find our way a little bit with those guys. Make sure that they all know what to do when they're supposed to get the ball. It's can they play without the ball and do those sorts of things to help us win. That's important. So. In a roundabout way, is it helping the competition? Absolutely. But it's also, there's a little bit of, they don't need to worry about anything other than making sure they know what to do and doing it as best they can.
When you have a 3 cornerback rotation like you do, and one guy is on the sideline a lot of time, is there any managing of egos that you have to do, or try to get guys to buy into the fact that they're not going to be on the field all the time?
I mean, what's the alternative? One of them gets to sit? No. I say that jokingly. It's all part of the plan. I mean, when you're playing as many reps as our guys are playing, I mean, through the course of the game, you can get 50 snaps at corner, and then you can get another 30 in special teams. And that's a long game by any measure. And those guys understand, if you're being productive, you probably will stay out there a little bit longer. But when you have the skill set of Greg Stroman and Adonis and Brandon Faison, why not try to get them on the football field and affect the team? And that's what they've done. They've embraced it. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to it towards the end of the season because Greg had some some nagging injuries, didn't get to play as much, but they understand, you know, and I think it's only fair that all three get to play.
Have you had situations in your career where you've done this before? Is this a fairly unique situation that has
No,
this
it's not
many guys?
unique. I mean, I think if you look at any model, you know, you always count the reps. You know, what's the wear and tear over the long haul? And when I've had three corners, I've always rotated all three. And it's not trying to be politically, you know, correct or fair or whatever. It's just, it's best for the team because that model says you can't play that many reps and put that much stress on the body because you're only going to have so many hits, you know, so many rundowns and so many vertical routes that you cover throughout the course of the year and be effective. So my idea was, okay, let's take some reps off of them because they are going to be a big part of what we do in special teams, and let's keep it fresh.
Team's scouting report on Devin Hunter. What does he look like? What kind of an impression has he made on you?
He's definitely developing, as well as Reggie Floyd and Khalil Latler. Everyone's just trying to be great. We're all out there competing every day. It's a tough spot over at the rogue position. Everybody's competing. They're all head-to-head. It's a head-to-head race, and they're all trying to push each other to be the best players that they can be.
Does he do things athletically that stands out though? I mean, he was a pretty hyped recruit and all of that.
Yes, he definitely brings a big help to the table. I wouldn't put him ahead of Reggie Floyd or Khalil Latler because, like I said, it's a three-headed race, and they're all together, and they're all trying to make each other better.
When you were growing up, there were a lot of years here where the offense was kind of slow to get started and the defense kind of carried the day for the first month or two of the season. With all the youth you guys have on offense this year and the inexperienced quarterback, does it feel like a year when the defense might have to kind of rise up early especially? More than you normally would feel.
Well, I'd say regardless if the offense provides or not, because the offense are competing with us every day, and every day the offense is getting better and making us better at the same time because it's no day that the defense just runs over the offense or the offense just runs over the defense. Each day we're competing, each day we're making each other better, and there's nobody that's standing out, I would say, standing over top of another side of the ball, I'd say. Because the defense is competing as well as the offense, and the young guys are stepping up. They're making plays now, and we're forming to be a good team.
How much did last year kind of reawaken what you expected you were coming to when you came to Tech, winning 10 games and stuff, which they'd done for years before that couple-year dry spell?
May you repeat the question, please?
How much did last year kind of reawaken the culture here of what you saw growing up where they won 10 games every year and always went to good bowl games and stuff?
I would say it definitely woke us up. We definitely know that we can compete with anybody. We definitely see that we can win 10 games and go to championships and possibly win championships. And we're not trying to lower our standards for anyone. We're trying to go again next year, go to the AC championship and possibly win. So that's our goal, and that's everyone's goal each and every day.
Dylan Rivers is a guy who's been impressive so far. What have you seen? What stands out about his play so far?
You know, definitely, I'd say out of all the freshmen, you know, I've been pleased with all the freshmen. You know, coming in from high school is definitely a big step in that type of defense, and all the freshmen has been showing improvements each and every day as we came out of practice. So, you know, I'm pleased with all of them.
What are some of Dylan's strengths?
You know, he's a quick learner. I think that'd be the best thing that you could be in that type of defense. Is a fast learner. You know, come in each and every day in the film room, look at what we have on film, and go from there.
Is it hard or easy to be coached by Bud Foster, going back to when you're a true freshman?
I would say it's easy because you know you're going to be the best player you can be at the end of the day. But, you know, he's definitely going to challenge you each and every day as you come out there. But, you know, Coach Foster, he knows what he's doing, so you just have to have that patience and listen to him.
How much
some of you guys back on defense? What's that chemistry like? I know you guys are a lot of good friends with each other. What's the chemistry coming into fall camp?
We've been having great chemistry out there. You know, a lot of returning guys out there, a lot of inexperienced guys also stepping up, you know, playing their role. So, you know, I'm just real excited about this season and ready to get this thing started.
Growing up, Tech had a lot of years like last year, win 10 games, go to a bowl game. And then from the time right before you got here to the first couple of years you were here, it wasn't like that. How much did last year kind of reawaken that kind of culture that you expected when you got here?
You know, a lot of people know Virginia Tech football, and, you know, we held to a high expectation. So, you know, I just felt like last year, you know, we made sure we let the people know that we're still here, that, you know, we're still competing for championships here. And, you know, I think a lot of eyes are open now, ready to see what we got this year.
What's it like to play next to Andrew, and how has that chemistry kind of changed, developed over time?
It's great. You know, Andrew, he's been a leader since day one, since I first got here. So, you know, we're growing older and older each and every day, and it's definitely helping me out a lot.
We all learned about that story where he kind of changed his lifestyle and everything. From your vantage point, what kind of a guy is he now, and how big a change did he make? Or
he's just a humble guy, you know, a guy that comes out each and every day, you know, ready to go to work, and, you know, I just love playing beside him, you know. It's just a great player to be around.
Questions for Vinny?
One of the criticisms is fair, but like when you moved to the outside from the inside, it was, you know, how would you be in space? How much better a player are you right now in open space than that, you know, first few months when you moved to end?
Substantially, you know, just really, it wasn't so much a quickness thing, it was learning how to play in space. You know, I feel like I had the ability to early on, and I just really learned how to through Coach Wiles and Bud Foster getting on that.
Coach Fuente said you have old dog savvy. What do you think he meant by that?
You know, at this point, it probably means I'm playing smarter. You know, I've been banged up a little bit this past season, and I feel like I'm still producing, just playing a lot smarter and playing to my strengths and understanding my opponent's weakness.
On the other side, you get Hill back, and both of you guys missed spring. What does he look like, and what does he bring to kind of the picture there?
He's fully healthy. He's I'd say more explosive than ever, and I'd say he's really a Grand Slam guy. You know, he can make big plays for us and whenever we need to.
I don't know if we talked to you since the end of last season, but how significant was the shoulder injury that you had, and how difficult was that playing through that for basically the second half of the season?
It wasn't too bad. You know, it was painful, but you get to those kinds of things whenever you got everybody looking for you to do so.
Not that it'll happen, but I guess there's a possibility if things don't go great here in camp with some of the backups at tackle that you could be called upon at some point to maybe slide inside. Is that something you feel like you could do, or is it, do you ever work much there at all, or is it that requires an awful lot of fitness for a guy that's also started in to be able to do that kind of thing?
Yeah,
would you be able to?
I worked at it for about my first year here,
yeah.
And I'd feel pretty comfortable. I still remember all this stuff. It's a lot of the same techniques when you look at a 7-tech and a 2-tech and a 3-tech and a 5-tech. So I mean, it's pretty much all the same stuff, and you know, I'll do whatever my team needs me to do. So it's something I would have no problem doing.